This is the Squared Away channel, the channel where we not only go over problems in today's society, but we also discuss ways to fix them. On today's episode, we're going to be addressing Eminem's attack of Donald Trump in his new Cypher. It sounds like it's just a rap song without any music behind it. But anyway, the point of this, we're going to come right out the gate swinging here, is just to let you know that Eminem is a totally uninformed, hypocritical, out of touch, over the hill has-been. This video is totally uncool. It's politically correct. It's just a mashup of hackneyed liberal talking points, and this whole rebel, tough guy, fake facade is as played out as I don't know, as Adam Sandler pretended to be a tough guy on all those movies, a tough guy jock. So, getting right into it, this is not a black and white perspective on President Trump. It's a little more nuanced. I realize that there is a little bit of basis to criticizing Trump. I'm not bananas about the tweets. We're not real happy about the tweets. I think in a lot of ways he made too much of a deal about the NFL. He doesn't need to create a culture where the government swoops down from on high and deals with all the normal people's problems. It's a bad precedent to set, in my opinion, and it does feel like pro wrestling at times. But regardless of all this, whether Eminem and Trump are best buds behind closed doors, whether this is all genuine, we need to take a step back and remember who it is delivering this message to us, and not forget what this man has made his living on. See, I'm 32 years old. When I was in middle school, Eminem was first bursting onto the scene with songs like Guilty Conscience was one of the first songs I heard from Eminem. Now, in that song, he talks about raping a underage girl who is drugged to the point of unconsciousness. Let that sink in for a second. And while you're letting that sink in, why don't you recall a song called Kill You, which, if the title is not bad enough, he explores the idea of, I'll just say it, raping his mom. I feel dirty even talking about this. I feel like I need a shower. Or a bath, which is a good segue. Eminem has also exposed or been a part of things that are blatantly satanic rituals. A man from a show called A Call for an Uprising does a fantastic job in outlining some of these satanic, witchcraft-laden messages from Eminem. One is the bath full of blood, which is a satanic ritual. We can go into that more in later episodes, but that's not what this is about. If this Satanism is not enough, many people are familiar with some of his other. I don't want to get too hung up on this type of thing. What I'm really just trying to do is present the picture that Eminem is not the moral authority for us or for anyone. Just a couple more examples. The song called Kim is notorious for being a song where he brutally executes his wife in cold blood by slitting her throat, and including sound effects which are so graphic you can essentially see the act being performed if you close your eyes. He has also leveraged his influence by creating bands. Another one that he created, I won't even mention the name, but it's horrible, and they talk about bestiality, they talk about killing, they talk about killing babies, they talk about taking tons of drugs, and violence, any type of violence that you could imagine towards any type of people that you could imagine. Eminem is a high priest of the Hollywood elite. They love this guy. Talk show hosts fawn over this guy. Other rappers who are such tough guys, like The Game, talk about how tough guys in quotes, I'm being sarcastic, I don't think any of these people are tough guys. I think it's all a big fake facade. But even these people talk about how much they revere Eminem and how much they are afraid to talk out against Eminem because they're afraid to look stupid or they're afraid to have their careers ruined. Well, I'm not afraid to have my career ruined. I'm not a rapper. I don't care about fame. But I am also not afraid to expose these people like Eminem, which maybe somewhere deep down is a good person, but he's not that right now. And until he converts and turns his life over, he needs to be attacked. He needs to be exposed. And in a lot of ways, I think he just needs to be mocked because this is just so silly. It's so laughable that he's now become this politically correct puppet I don't even really know what to say. My mind is split over this. If I had a guess, I would just say, Eminem's whole catalog, his whole career has just been filled with vile depravity, with an occasional sad man archetype thrown in the mix. And if you don't know what that is, we'll explore that in future episodes. It's essentially the sympathy for the devil archetype. Feel sorry for me, give me a pass because I've been through such a hard time, blah, blah, blah. It's nonsense. It's made to steer you down a bad road. And this man has been given a very specific and special gift to pull your mind and your heart down a very, very bad road. He cares about nothing but himself. He doesn't care about politics. He doesn't care about Trump. But I'm going to go through the top 10, and this is the point of the video, and I didn't mean for this to be 10. It just ended up being 10. The 10 reasons why this is such a vapid, stupid video, and why Eminem is a hypocrite. He is totally uninformed. He's out of touch. He's over the hill. This video is totally uncool. It's just a PC mashup of liberal talking points, and this rebel tough guy act, as I've said, is as stupid as Adam Sandler pretending to be the tough guy in a prison and a pro quarterback. So the first one is, we're just going to go down these line by line. Number one, he comes right out the gate swinging, and he says that he's coming up with a plot to hurt Trump. And until he gets that plot done, he's just going to pour a pot of hot coffee on Trump. So this is silly. This is dumb. This is SJW, Antifa, delusions of grandeur. We're going to hurt a democratically elected president. I think we can move on from there. The second one, and I believe this is probably one that deserves to be highlighted, is the name is blurred out, but it's either Melania or Ivanka, and he says that he's going to go pray at a mosque, that every time, I believe it's Melania, opens her mouth, she gets and then he stops himself, he balls up a fist and says that he's going to stop himself. So thanks for that, Eminem, but you didn't stop yourself. You've shown us that you're exactly the same figure, the same showman, the same character as before, that thinks it's funny to brutalize and hurt and even kill women. Well, we don't think that's cool. Just so you know, you sound like some old man that doesn't realize times have changed and things have progressed since your good old days. We are not a fan of hurting women. Even people like me that are hardcore anti-Hillary, we don't want to hurt Hillary. We don't believe in hurting women. We don't believe in hurting people if it can be avoided. But that is another point. So he hasn't changed. He's the same old guy. This is nothing new. The third one is giving Obama props. Confusing to me because he's always been so anti-establishment, or at least that's been the guise from him. But he gives Obama props, he says, while showing the contrast of Obama, who's a warmonger. Now, as I've already mentioned, Eminem is clearly uninformed because, as you can see by this chart right here, Obama was not a man of peace, despite what many would have you believe. This is him receiving the Peace Prize, which is a topic for a different discussion. The fourth reason why this is a vapid, pretentious, hollow video is he just spouts that Trump is racist and orange. It's lazy. We've heard that a million times. I'd like to hear the sentence, please. Please tell me the exact sentence that Trump used that was racist. And I'm right there with you attacking him. But this just sounds like MSNBC, CNN laziness. Let's move along to number 5. He wants to, talking about Trump now, he wants to disband us because of his bad tan. This makes no sense, and it just highlights the fact that Eminem just cares about sensation, and there's no substance behind these remarks. He has a bad tan, so he wants to disband us. Okay, fine. Number 6, he talks about the NFL. Eminem makes a claim that Trump has highlighted the NFL scandal or controversy, whatever you want to call it, because he doesn't want to talk about gun reform. Now, if you forgot, rewind to the first couple minutes of this talk. I give a couple examples of reasons why it's a little bit funny that Eminem finds it important that we look into gun reform. I'm not sure if he's sure that we have a Second Amendment and that is not a peripheral issue in America, but the right to defend yourself with guns is baked into the cake of America, and we as Americans, and I will address this in another issue, we are not going to be punished because of the actions of some other people. We have the right to defend ourselves. We're not giving up our guns. And finally, let me just say, it's a little bit funny to see these hardcore gangsters behind you with their El Caminos or their Oldsmobiles or whatever those are, hands folded like tough guys, talking about gun control. I thought you guys were gangsters. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. He also, and this is number 7, he attacks Trump for slandering Hillary. That's another weird thing. He's aligning himself with Hillary. Once again, a topic for another discussion. I just found that very bizarre. You know, Eminem, Hillary is the establishment. So I don't know who you think you're aligning yourself with, but she did steal an election. She did cheat on questions. Her Clinton Foundation did steal money from Haiti. So might want to look into that a little bit. She gave her daughter a $2 million wedding. I don't know how you afford that on a public servant salary. I know the president, when she was with Bill, made about $400K a year, but I don't know. That still doesn't really justify an over $2 million wedding. So anyway, you're an idiot, Eminem. You're an idiot. Number 8, Trump attacks black athletes. Let me just stop this right now. Let's play that through for a moment. Let's say Trump actually did. Let's say he stood up on the podium and attacked black athletes. The world would stop. This entire world would stop, and he wasn't attacking black athletes. What he was doing was attacking people like Colin Kaepernick, and this actually leads me into my 9th point, and we'll just make this the 9th point, which was he wants to ball a fist and stand with Colin Kaepernick. We all need to ball a fist, and I guess it's a power fist to stand with black athletes. I'm a veteran. I was in the Navy. I'm honorably discharged, and that's not important so much as it is just to let you know that the mantra of a lot of veterans, myself included, is as follows. We might not agree with what you say, but we will defend your right to say it. Anyone has the right to express their opinion any way they want to. Right. I mean, we respect it. I mean, we uphold that. We protect that idea. The reason why Colin Kaepernick got so much backlash is because he aligned himself with an organization, Black Lives Matter, and I don't need to go into all their rhetoric, but he aligned himself with an organization that is hostile to America. It's a very simple point. No one's against black people. He aligned himself with an organization that talked about killing cops, wrapping them in a blanket, and frying them like bacon. So that's our problem with Colin Kaepernick, and I won't be balling up a fist for Colin, Eminem. The 10th, and this is the last point, is he is drawing a line in the sand. So Eminem's precursors to all of this line in the sand was that he was going to hurt Trump, hurt his family, throw him up against a brick wall. I didn't cover that point. But now he is drawing a line in the sand so that all of his fans, all the Eminem fans, I suppose mostly people my age who have moved on past the hollow shell, the vapid toxicity of hip-hop, and we've opened our eyes and taken our heads out of the sand. Now we are his enemy. He has established us as his enemy, and I don't think he knows exactly what he's doing with that because we are the people. We are Middle America. We are not afraid, and we're certainly not intimidated by Eminem. It's a little bit sad, and that's the whole point. That's actually just what I wanted to say. I don't think anybody ever really comes out and calls this charlatan, this snake oil salesman, Eminem, this fearmonger, out for who he really is, which is a fraud. And this video, this politically correct monstrosity, is just a mashup of liberal talking points. Attacking black athletes was first spouted by Hillary, I believe. This rebellious, I'm a tough guy stuff is a total fake facade, and it reminds me of Adam Sandler being enraged that someone spilled his water and knocking out a guy 10 times his side. It's ridiculous, it's laughable, and it's silly. Thank you very much for listening to this, and I appreciate it, and have a great day.